2020. We are at the City Hall Conference Room upstairs at City Hall. I'll call to order the meeting and acknowledge that the press and the public have been duly notified of the meeting in accordance with the Freedom of Information Act. The first order of business for this meeting will be the election of chair and vice chair. We'll start with the election of chair, and I will call to see if there are any nominations.
I nominate Philip Pounds. Nominate Ryan.
Alright, so we have a nomination for Philip Pounds and for Councilmember Buchanan.
Need to have a second.
Second.
Okay. Are there any other nominations?
All three.
Alright, I will call for a vote on the nomination for Councilmember Pounds for chair. All those in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Okay. Okay, that motion fails. Is, all those in favor for Councilmember Buchanan for the office of chair?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, any nays? And that passes, and, I will
Turn over to me.
turn it over to Chair Buchanan for, the nominations for vice chair.
Perfect. Well, thank you. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to the first meeting of Public Safety. The nominations for Vice Chair. Okay, I'll second that. All those in favor of Jimmy for Vice Chair, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Perfect. Now we have Vice
Is that
Chair.
the one that's not here?
Yeah. Exactly.
You need to use last
Yes.
name.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
Congratulations.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm underwhelmed.
We are moving on to item 3, approval of previous minutes meetings, which goes way back to November 4th.
Motion to approve.
Second.
There's a motion to approve the minutes of November 4th. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Then we'll move on to item 4, which is citizens' comments. Citizens are welcome to approach, make any type of comments they need to. You state your name and address for the record. Name and address for the record. Come on forward.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And
You have to get your sign in for us, too.
You can
Sign in for you?
name,
Okay.
address, and email, that way we can communicate with you.
Okay. Do that after I.
Yes.
Perfect, yes.
I'm Pastor Phil Clark, St. Mark's Lutheran Church, 300 Palm Boulevard, here on Isle of Palms. And I come today, I want to apologize to you because the letter that I wrote requesting for a permanent waiver on the ordinance for noise so that I might be able to have the blessing of the veterans and first responders and render military honors. In order to do that, full military honors calls for a 21 gun salute. And back when I did it this November, I checked with the chief and he said, well, actually, if you guys do that, you're gonna be in violation. So, he and the mayor both encouraged me to come speak with you and see if it might be possible to have once a year an annual permanent waiver for the noise so we could fire the 21 gun salute during that ceremony. So I wrote up a letter about that, but I referred to you as Chief Corbin. Instead.
I've been
Chief
referred to as
Cornett.
worse.
And it is it's only Monday. I realized that on the way, I went, oh my goodness, I didn't call it right.
And when is the date of this?
Yeah, the one I'm planning for this year would be November 7th.
Okay.
It's a Saturday. We do it from, this whole blessing ceremony was from like 12 noon till roughly about 1:40 or 12:45.
Okay.
And toward the end of the ceremony is when the 21 gun salute comes.
Okay.
I applaud your planning ahead.
Yes.
Thank you. Well, I know it takes time
Yes, it
sometimes,
does.
and coordinating all those efforts and everything.
If I may.
Go ahead.
Because there is still some time, there is no item for action on the agenda,
Correct.
therefore they, technically shouldn't discuss it at this meeting because an action is required. What I think, if it's the will of the chair and the committee, I will share this letter with the committee and include it in the February committee meeting agenda for
Okay.
you all to discuss and take action.
Correct. Yep.
Okay,
Perfect.
that's great. Thank you. I appreciate your
No,
time.
thank you so much for bringing it. I love it.
All right, I'll go ahead and fill that out for you.
Thank you, Pastor Phil.
Yes.
Thank you, Desiree.
Any other citizens' comments? There's nobody else in the up front here, so we'll move on to old business. Consideration of ordinance 2019-16, an ordinance establishing new standards for dilapidated structures. We've already had first reading on this.
Correct.
This is here just to make any changes or no vote's gonna be taken on it, so we.
You could make a recommendation for second reading, it's not necessary, but according to the code, after it goes, an ordinance goes through first reading, it should go back to the committee for
Correct.
additional discussion, if, there needs to be any more,
So these changes that were in the packet,
Mhm.
that's what went in front of council in November?
Correct.
Correct.
Okay. I don't know if this was updated language or not. Okay.
Well, the committee has been working on this for several months, and, a version of the ordinance was presented to city council for first reading before November,
Right.
and council did not take any action on it. It came back to the committee, and the committee worked on it for a couple more months. The version that you have in front of you includes selections of the International Property Maintenance Code to address some of the concerns that were raised by some residents that, address vacant structures, around the island that are not currently well maintained. This code,
But not only vacant though.
vacant and,
Correct.
exactly, or not,
Correct.
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 This code would require that owners of all homes, whether they're occupied or vacant,
Thank you, Pastor.
thank you.
Thank you. Excuse me.
It would require that owners of homes that are occupied in, or vacant, keep exterior walls in good condition and protected by paint and other covering and free of cracks, breaks, rots, or excessive mildew. It also includes a requirement to keep roofs free of leaks, keep stairs, decks, and porches and handrails properly attached and structurally sound. And it also, includes a requirement for folks to keep their pools in good repair with filters on to ensure that the water remains clean and sanitary. There is also a provision, and this came out of the committee after the city council didn't take any action the first time around for first reading, that the city include a provision, for when the mayor declares a state of emergency, so that there is some flexibility there. And that it would allow for the staff to review properties on a case-by-case basis.
Okay.
Those are some of the concerns that Douglas and I have expressed with, the ordinances is, I guess, the expectation that properties are going to be, that staff is going to be selective when dealing with some properties, and I just, we kind of continue to emphasize that, is a flaw, and, staff should, wouldn't be expected to do that. And
Correct.
as, when these things become, apparent or, complaints are submitted to the city would have to, address those across the board equally, regardless of, who.
Correct. And it does mention, one of the things I have issues with this ordinance is it does say that, it does mention the LG on the outside of the buildings to be maintained, cleaned. Houses need to be plumb and level, which is another thing. And you have situations like this is just a picture, obviously that envelope is not sealed. Right here, conditions like that are really not a big, you have conditions where that's, something like that. So, and obviously, these are pictures of city buildings. So soon as this law passes, the city's in violation of a number of these. So we need to look at it as well. So it's gonna be a hard one to enforce, but like I said, it'll go through second reading, we'll see how it goes through there
Any amendments, changes would be entertained
at that time.
at second reading, correct?
Okay. Any other action on that then? That'll move on to second reading, we don't need a vote because we can make any changes. Update on implementation of approved changes to the beach parking plan. Yeah.
The new changes that were approved by council late last year were, just as a reminder, we're extending parallel parking only and parking 4 feet off the pavement on Palm Boulevard between 41st Avenue and 53rd Avenue. And also, requiring parallel parking only on the avenues, between First and Ninth that connect to Ocean Boulevard. That project, the implementation of that project was assigned to the police department, who ordered the signs, are in the process of installing them as we speak.
Perfect.
I noticed them this morning on
Mhm.
Palm.
Good.
I don't know if that's new or.
They are new.
They are new.
Some of them
Came
are
out there
Yeah.
yesterday, but today it's like,
Okay. Then we'll move on to update on, DOT between 10th and 21st.
Yes, so I included in the packet the letter that we received from SADOT responding to the city's request for them to conduct a speed study on Palm Boulevard between 10th and 21st Avenue. They conducted the study and determined that based on the study and the guidelines for the Federal Highway Administration, they're not really recommending lowering the speed limit. They took into consideration bicycle and pedestrian activity, traffic conditions, and also looked at the collision history. And it did not show a pattern of speed-related accidents. That's pretty much all I can update on that. I thought it was really interesting that, they indicated that, I think most drivers drive within a speed of 36 miles an hour. I guess we could argue that for that stretch, that may be a little too high, but, I guess it didn't meet their requirements for considering or recommending a reduction of the speed limit.
Was it, they there from like 2 to 4 AM or something?
It was definitely the slow season, so I
Right.
don't know if
Well, we all know that, especially the chief, that they come out off the connector and it's Le Mans trying to jockey for position. Out there going 35,
Right.
and golf carts and kids on bicycles are crossing right, anyway.
And basically what they did, they took their collision report from just over a few years, was it 16 to 19? And then, it's not necessarily just,
Nothing we can do about it, but
yeah.
at least we looked into it.
Yeah,
How did this one get born? I mean, from a citizen comment or just the committee?
a little bit of both. We've had folks who live around the S-turn down there who wanted us to try and find ways to create a safer environment where people are gonna try to cross, the crosswalk right there. As well as, folks who live back here in Oak Harbor who try to get to the beach. And there's no crosswalk for them.
Yeah.
For them as well, and the traffic is just, as soon as you come up Palm Boulevard and it opens into double lanes in front of the post office, it opens it up and people tend to go faster. So, okay, well, we'll have to look at other ways that we can try to increase safety in the area, as well. I mean, just saying we can't, that's one hurdle. Let's find, find other ways to.
If I may.
Go ahead.
I would like to ask them to come in during the summer and
Correct.
maybe conduct the study again and take more data from the activity that we see in a summer Saturday.
Right.
Which we know is pretty
Right.
consistent.
Yeah.
So that may be a next step, to reach out to them and say, would you consider doing this again
Memorial Day.
Memorial Day weekend?
Yeah.
To see.
Right. Okay, well, thank you. Yeah, that's definitely, let's try and do that. Update on safety camera at Breach Inlet.
We have reached out to Technology Solutions. It is in their queue, and he cannot give me an exact date on when they will start. He's trying to recommend some changes that might save the city a little bit of money and maybe make it a little bit easier for viewing of fire and police,
Okay.
just a backup plan. But we're still kind of working on those things. It will be done. It is in the queue to get done.
Okay.
He's working on some things with Sullivan's Island over on their end of Breach Inlet as well.
Yeah, what do they got going on over there?
They're putting in a LPR, a license plate reader. So they will now have one coming onto the island from both ways. So one on Ben Sawyer and one on Breach Inlet.
Wow. Okay. I was wondering what it was gonna be. Okay. Well, good. Update on our TrueGrid sample installation.
Yes, so throughout the holiday season, we try to get some estimates for the installation of this sample product that we're thinking about we wanna know how it works, we wanna see how it operates in real life, and this company has graciously donated 4 spaces for us to do that. We just have to pay for the installation. The first quote that we received was over $8,000, and according to our code, if it's over $5,000, we need to have several quotes to compare. We're in the process of acquiring, we have one. We're in the process of trying to get other contractors to also give us at least a quote.
Okay.
We're gonna follow up, try to get something this month. If, our efforts are not, successful, then we'll go ahead with, and evaluate the proposal that we've received. We just have to make a conscious effort of trying to get, additional competitive pricing. So that's pretty much where we are. There's a lot of work around, and this is, a significantly smaller project compared to some of the other projects that these folks can work on. So it's been a little challenging getting, contractors to get interested and give us pricing, so.
Do you need help with contractor names and stuff like that, or?
We
you
have a list of people that we've worked in the past.
Okay.
Douglas also helped,
Okay.
if you know of any contractors that
Yes.
might be interested, let me know, and
Okay.
we'll reach out and send them the idea and
Okay.
the plan and get some additional quotes that way.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Perfect, okay.
That'd be
I can do
helpful.
that. Okay. Thank you. Anybody else have anything on that? Update on the purchase of our ladder truck, refurbishment of the ladder truck.
Yep, so the 75 foot is in New York at this time, doing its getting its final, and we should have it up and running. We're going for final inspection in January or February 2020. It should be in service no later than the end of February or March.
Cool.
So that's a good deal.
That's a 75 foot?
Correct,
Okay.
which is a new truck.
That's the new one.
Yep.
And then the 95 being refurbed is in Florida this time. Florida. And it's underway, and the ETA is 2020. June of 2020.
June of
Okay.
2020. A little bit more specific, huh?
Sorry about
that.
You're fine.
Oh, no, we'll both have them in service before the season,
Yes.
basically. Okay.
That's the goal.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Any other on this? Perfect. New business. Review of police and fire department's 10-year capital plan, discussion of new initiatives and projects for consideration.
Alright, so I added this to the agenda. This is the same section that's included in your FY 20 budget. It includes the police and fire department's 10-year capital plan. This is exactly as it's included in FY 20. So staff has not yet, made the changes that we will present to you all for the FY 21 budget process. We typically start the budgeting process in January, and they begin with a meeting with the city treasurer, myself, and the department heads, so we'll go over what we have and make some changes based on timing and need, and any new initiatives that they want the committee to entertain and discuss. Before we did that, we're in the process of scheduling those meetings with the department heads as we speak, but I wanted to provide the committee an opportunity to have a discussion about the plan, and if there are any initiatives or new projects that you would like for staff to consider and think about and maybe get you some information on for consideration for FY 21. So my plan was not to go over each line item at this point, because we would do that once the changes have been incorporated from the staff's perspective. But I don't, just wanted to get some feedback if there's anything in particular that you're interested in seeing happening this year, anything that's not included in the 10-year capital plan that you think it should, or you would like for it to be included, or again, any other projects that, you're just dying to see.
I think one of our biggest expenses coming out this year and next year is public safety, and that's gonna continue to roll into that. Jimmy, you got anything there?
I'm just studying.
Yeah, I know, I say and so you're planning to meet with your department heads, kind of go over, revise and, okay.
And I've already had a discussion with Chief Cornett, and he already talked about some changes that he's contemplating for this document, so next time you'll see it, this will obviously won't be the only time that you're
Correct.
gonna be able to provide some feedback. I just wanted to kind of put it in your report and know that this would be the time in the process where we're gonna be working actively on it. And, if there's any information that you would like for us to develop for you as you start to study, you study this document and study sort of the initiatives that the committee is going to pursue this year, let us know, and we'll get you, all the information that we can and that we have on anything in particular.
So both of these are, equipment related and building, obviously. I mean, is there anything staffing wise that anybody's got on the radar screen, or? that's really
Just capital.
Just capital?
We'll
Got it.
we'll be talking about staff
Got
later.
it, got it, okay, thank you.
There is a section here under special projects, and that's pretty much what I'm looking at,
Yes.
for this, and, same thing for the fire department. But yeah, that'll all be part of the discussion where we start with capital projects, and then we go into operational expenses, and that's when we'll talk about vacancies and staffing levels.
Perfect, yeah, well, got it now. Okay.
And this is also included in your FY20 approved budget, it's
Mhm.
pages 39 through 41.
Okay. Well, this is something we'll be working on for the next few months. Yes. Basically the only thing we're tasked with. Setting up Alan's budget. Consideration of approval of sole source contract amount of $30,994.27 fleet. Mobile Vision for replacement of 6 in-car camera systems. It's budgeted.
It is budgeted, and
Mhm.
before I let Chief Cornett explain, the purchase, I just wanna highlight that $57,000 is what's budgeted in this line item, however, $34,000 was what was budgeted for the replacement of the 6 in-car camera system, so we're actually roughly $3,000 under budget in that, expense.
So we have 4 new trucks that are in Columbia being upfitted right now with the lights and emergency package.
Yep.
The goal would be that we can order these and get the cameras installed while they're up there.
Okay.
So we also have 2 additional cars, one that has an old, out-of-date, in-car camera system that does not function with the server that we currently have in place. And then one that does not have a camera in it. This will give us a chance to get rid of the old ones, make sure all of our vehicles have current in-car cameras that are operating with the, database that we currently have.
So your car, and I just keep you up to date, so with these, updating these camera systems, cause right now you can, to upload them into the network or what have you can just, the car just kind of pulls into the Sally Port or into the garage and it automatically uploads
Correct.
out of the car into the system. And not all cars are, well, they may be fitted with that, it's just,
Correct.
they're
Plus,
outdated.
with these new in-cars, they link up with the body camera they wear, so that
Correct.
when one or the other turns on and they're within enough feet for the Bluetooth to go off, both cameras are recording, so we get multi-views of what's going on to protect us or to provide any additional evidence that we may need from the scene.
Okay. Okay, so there's consideration of approval of sole source, and we're doing sole source primarily because it's state contract, or this is folks
It's
we've worked with before, or?
It's the same system that we had. If we
Okay.
had a different
Technology.
system,
It was different technologies, okay,
Mhm.
got it,
That just
just for,
allows for ease transition,
Okay.
between the systems and the, software that we have.
okay, a motion to approve?
Yeah, make motion.
Okay, there's a motion to approve the purchase of, 6 in-car camera systems for the amount of $30,994.27. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Perfect. So this will have to go through, how long are the trucks gonna be in Columbia?
they are estimating that they will be done with them around February. So the hope is that if this goes through, by the end of this month, we can order them and have them
Up there?
up there before they release. It'll be the last thing they put in.
Okay,
Mhm.
perfect. That's what I was just wondering.
And we're
That's the
hoping that
hope.
the timeline works,
Yes, the
yeah.
timeline.
Mhm.
Okay. Item 7, department, highlight the department reports. It's been a while since we've heard from y'all, so, you got that?
Well, I'm gonna break rules probably here, I don't mean to. I'm gonna go back to F, cause I think I messed up, yeah, my briefing this morning was brief at that, so. Please, I apologize. The 75 foot's in Florida,
Yes.
ETA June 2020. And
Okay.
then 95, the refurb is in New York, and that's the one that will be in service at the end of February.
Okay.
So, just wanna make sure I quoted that correctly. Fire department report. December was, actually a pretty slow month as it's our down season, but it definitely delivered on, major calls. On the 5th, we had a structure fire at 72 Morgan Place Drive, that's the golf cart shed.
Mm-hmm.
Back there was a pretty good, lot of potential to be really bad, but our guys did an amazing job. Got a quick knockdown, really proud of them for that. On top of that, we, did the, Pearl Harbor Day Remembrance Ceremony at the VFW. We did provide one firefighter along with, police, and performed honor guard duties. And then also for the tree lighting ceremony, we had a crew that showed up for that as well. Included in the report was, a letter that we received in December, for a call that, happened back in July 22nd for a full arrest on a pediatric. The guys did a really good job, made a save there. 61 total calls for the month of December. And as you can see, it's all right there. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to field those. I meant to include the year-end analytics as well. I don't have those numbers right in front of me. I can get them to you, but we did break 1,020 some calls for the year.
Okay.
So,
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
yes, sir.
Chief?
So, over the month of November and December, I held multiple community meetings with residents, just kind of getting their feedback, what we're doing right, what we can improve on, and how we can work together. I'm going to put that together into a packet here soon and present that to Mr. Cardoso and go from there. We also-
There's one left in Law Dude, right?
That's correct. That's the reason I haven't put anything together yet. We were working with, the HOA president, or Dave, to get that scheduled.
Okay,
So
good.
my plan is to have that before the next meeting, we'll have that meeting. We also participated in Sober Slammer kickoff event with, Charleston County and Tri-County law enforcement agencies. And part of that, we offered free breath, tests outside the Windjammer on New Year's
Hey.
Eve, just to kinda reduce the number of people that would be willing to get behind the wheel, and a lot of positive feedback from that. We also participated in the color guard for the, Winter Fest down in Front Beach, and that was a public safety color guard with fire and police, and it was the first time we had done that, so we're going to perfect that as we continue to go. We also held our first awards dinner for the police department and recognized Officer of the Year, Professional Staff Member of the Year, and Rookie of the Year, as well as multiple other, certificates, people that had achieved throughout their career in law enforcement. It was very successful. And then you can see the calls for service were 1,125 for the month of December. Total for the year was 30,874. The year-to-date numbers, we're still going back and double checking, with the systems. We've had some CAD is not agreeing with something that we have here, so some of these numbers are off. We're going back and confirming those. We did confirm all the numbers for the month of December, that they're all correct. And you can kind of see all those. I won't read them all to you. But one of the other things that is coming up is we are getting ready to release our new patch. We ordered them. They're here. And just as a little teaser, I'll share each of you one of our little koozies. And it has the patch on one side, and the other side is the hashtag IOPPD. The purpose of that hashtag is so that we're always sending something out with that hashtag from the police department, so everyone can look it up and kind of follow us that
So if I
way.
get pulled over, can I go?
It might work for you, it might not.
I don't think so, Jim.
Perfect.
Good luck.
And, your presence on social media has been really, taken well. So, a lot of folks, even with this morning with the fog, and whoever's in charge of that, and
We
whether
have
it's you.
multiple people working.
Yes, that's right, I figured it's multiple people, but it's working well, we're getting a lot of good feedback from the community on that, and, that's really what they want, people just wanna know what's going on, and that's what they do, it's the first place to go, so, but thank you for coming, you're good. How are you with your staffing levels, and where were you at with that?
3 vacancies in patrol, 1 vacancy in detectives, and then 1 captain's vacancy.
feeling we're probably gonna be talking about personnel and structure and down the road here with the department and everything, okay. Okay, perfect. And how are you with the staffing levels, you know, or?
Right now, we're, I believe, full staff.
Okay. Good. Wow.
30-minute meeting, look
Good
at that.
Lord, that's how we do it. Any other business? Nothing? Next meeting date is set for February 3rd. That is,
Day after the Super Bowl.
yeah,
It's the Monday after the Super Bowl, and it is the day before the MASC Hometown Legislative Action Day.
yeah,
It's the 4th and the 5th, and I believe
yeah.
Chair.
And I'm not sure that I will be in town, cause I'm going to Asheville that weekend.
Okay.
Then I'm on my way back down, I'm just gonna stop in Columbia and
Okay.
stay for the hometown thing. So if you want, if we can do it that day, then Jimmy can chair it, I don't have a problem with that, or we can just move it to the following week,
Let's just keep it on schedule.
keep it on schedule.
I think, yes,
It's something-
one of the things I get from citizens like,
Yep.
I never know when the meetings are.
Right, just keep it the same,
Yeah.
that's fine, you don't have a problem with that then? Honestly, I don't know, yeah, I don't have a problem,
I don't think anything major coming up.
no, I don't, yeah, we'll just be, a lot of it's gonna be budget and,
Right.
And
updates,
updates.
yeah. And who knows what my schedule is, really, I'm gonna be here, I know, it's
We're
Monday
live
night.
streaming now, so.
Right, yes, perfect. Okay, no other business, next meeting will be Monday, February 3rd at 9 AM.
Motion
can
to
I-
adjourn?
all those in favor to adjourn, signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed, it is 9:30. That's what we do.
Start playing on 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.